live in the dungeon. This is the Dream Warrior Review. I'm Kurt Thomas.
I'm Miq Strawn.
So who died?
No one to talk to, all by myself. No one to talk to, but I'm happy on the shelf. Ain't misbehaving, saving my love for you. Leon Redbone.
Well, way to depress me.
Yeah, sorry. Hate to do that.
All right.
Like Jack Horner.
Are you ready for this?
In the corner.
The cryptozoological agency Monarch faces off against a battery of god-sized monster, including the mighty
What do
Godzilla,
I care?
who collides with Mothra,
It's your kisses.
Rodan,
I've been waiting.
and his ultimate nemesis,
for believe.
the three-headed king, Ghidorah.
I don't stay out late.
That was a weird combination there.
Well, I was just pointing out that...
That was interesting.
I was pointing out that Leon Redbone died. And
he probably didn't get a chance to see this movie.
He probably didn't get a chance to see this
No.
movie, I wouldn't think, no.
Probably wasn't on his list either.
I don't think it'd be on his bucket list.
You never know. Who knows?
Yeah.
This was on my bucket list.
It was indeed. And was it everything that you thought it would be?
Actually, I was pleasantly surprised.
All right.
So I like the old Godzilla stuff. I didn't see the last one.
I love the old Godzilla stuff.
But I really enjoyed
do.
this one. I just wanted to shove popcorn in my face and watch it.
Yeah, this was much better than the last
See,
one.
I didn't see that. I kind of wish I did. I saw the one before that.
Yeah, with Matthew Broderick?
Yeah.
Oh, that was just painful.
This was better. This was a
that
lot
was
better.
like watching paint dry around your puckered ass.
This is the best wrestling movie I've ever seen.
That's exactly what it was.
There was even a shot that I loved where he was just standing there like puffing and puffing.
Yeah, I have to say that there was even a little kind of what would you call it? Monster humor?
Yeah.
You know? Little bits.
And he looks strangely like that up and coming actor that's in all those action movies right now. The big guy.
Oh yeah, the guy that's in come on.
I can't even think of it.
Dave Bautista.
Yeah, Dave Bautista.
Whoa. I come up with
that's
his name.
amazing.
I can't believe
it's
that.
almost like they modeled his face after Dave Bautista a little bit.
That's right. They did. They actually did. It did look like David Bautista. Well, David Bautista on a first date, maybe.
Right.
No?
Well, speaking of first dates, his love interest, that was interesting.
Yeah.
We don't want to talk about that. But,
yeah.
So, is that a spoiler?
Red Bull gives you wings, but then so does Mothra.
So that's probably the only spoiler we'll put out there.
Yeah, exactly.
But,
well, you know what?
This had all the stuff I wanted.
Did it really?
I mean, not much story, not much character development. I didn't give it. I don't care. I just wanted action. I wanted to see like flames and stuff burning and things falling. And
I thought it. The story itself kind of tripped over itself several times, but no, it wasn't all about story.
But it shows how this is exactly what Godzilla was all about. It's like shows how small and insignificant people are. And how nature rules.
Whoa, there goes Tokyo.
Just listen to that Blue Oyster Cult song.
And by the way, I have to say, they didn't bring Blue Oyster Cult in to do the song.
No.
They did some other group, you know.
I don't know who that was. And they added some ooh, ha, ha.
Yeah, it was like,
yeah, it didn't work.
Yeah, it didn't work. Not at all. I mean, you know, it should have been the Cult, man. It should have been the Cult, man. Anyway, yeah.
I don't really have a lot to say. I mean, it didn't really have, it just was action.
Yeah.
Big blockbuster. It's all I really expected.
Yeah, it had a lot of really, really heavy sound effects.
Yes. Not many screams though, like from Godzilla.
Yeah, you know that.
And there was an interesting twist in this, a big twist. But you
know what I would like you to insert here, right here. I'm gonna leave you a hole for this. right here, I want you to do some research and find out what they originally did the Godzilla's voice with.
Hi, excuse me. This is Purvis Needlemeyer. I'm head researcher here at the Dream Warrior Review podcast, and Kurt Thomas told me to look something up, so I did that. And I don't really want to go to the effort of explaining everything right now. Yes. What you need to do is go to YouTube and look up the history of Godzilla's roar, and there's excellent information on there, and I believe you will enjoy yourself. And please write to me, Purvis Needlemeyer, and thank me for guiding you in the right direction. And I believe they will probably add this to their playlist on YouTube. Yes, I don't know if they'll add it to the playlist, but I do believe that Kurt Thomas is in the habit of adding things that are really super cool to playlists on YouTube. So check it out. Even if you only listen to us on Podbean or Apple, whatever, everybody uses YouTube, so check it out, dudes.
It was probably a lot of stuff.
No, it was a lot of stuff.
Yeah, I think I saw a documentary on that one time.
That's what I'm saying.
A lot of different
You're going to do a
noises.
little research and you're going to find out what that is and insert.
I know there was an elephant
back
involved.
there a little bit. No.
An elephant in a microwave.
Yeah, elephant, a microwave, some tomatoes,
and a Volkswagen Beetle.
and a guy named Mel.
Right. Yeah, right.
Mel didn't make it.
No, actually, Mel
He didn't
Blanc.
make it all the way down.
He just did that without any help.
He would. Yeah, it was just him. Yeah.
He was a man of, 1,000 voices, they say, or whatever it was? Or was that somebody else?
No, you're thinking of 1,000 Faces. Lon Chaney was 1,000 Faces.
Right, yeah.
I don't think Mel Blanc ever really had a moniker. I mean, Mel Blanc was amazing.
But I would give him that moniker.
I met Mel Blanc once.
Oh, really?
Yeah. He was working on a company that I was actually redesigning their offices for Inspector Gadget. And the sound guy that worked for it was I used to hang out with him, on my lunch breaks and stuff. And he pulled me along one time to come to this old recording studio where he had like some of the original tube amps and all the rest of that.
Oh, wow.
And they had Mel Blanc in there, and it was really cool.
So you just had him in there. He was on display.
No,
that's what it sounded like.
No, he did some of the voices for
right. I know.
I mean, come on, don't. Yeah, why are you giving? Why
they had a little velvet rope around him, and he was standing in the corner.
Yeah, yeah.
They just had him there.
He was pretty old at the time, I have to say.
Just prop him up with a broomstick and tell him to talk.
Yeah, I mean, he was behind the glass as far as I knew. I mean, I saw him there, and I didn't really get to talk to him. Yeah.
Hi there, this is Purvis again. I did some research on this subject of Mel Blanc, and there actually is a documentary back in 2008 called Mel Blanc, The Man of 1,000 Voices. I just wanted to point this out, that Kurt Thomas is not completely incorrect, but if you want to research this yourself, go to IMDb and look up Mel Blanc, The Man of 1,000 Voices. Thank you.
Well, speaking of doubts.
Yes. Doubts?
You planted a seed in my head in the middle of the movie. There was one thing that I kind of agree.
What was it?
There was something that happened with somebody going somewhere, with something happening to him and something. I'm trying to be as vague as I can.
Yeah?
And
yeah,
it seemed really like it was too hammer on the hit on the.
It
was a little bit too right on.
Yeah, see what I'm saying there?
A little too.
I had a little problem with that. I was like,
But if you look at the characters, it made sense for him to do it in a way because there was a history.
Yeah, but at the same time, you gotta admit it was a little.
And it went along with the twist, that kind of thing.
Right.
This is really vague.
This is really vague. Yeah, I don't even know if most people saw the movie if they would actually get.
Maybe they would.
Yeah. Well,
I don't know.
Anyway, yeah, it's It was a war reference.
I didn't hate all the special effects. I thought I would be like, it's a little too much as far as the huge over the top special effects.
Yeah.
There's some buildings falling over that looked really weird, but
it was assaultive.
It It was, yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
The funny thing about it is I can't tell you what it was that I truly liked about the cardboard buildings being pushed over by the rubber monster, right? I don't know what it was about it that, because it certainly didn't look more real.
Right.
You know, I mean, this is not a case of where the rubber monster and the cardboard. It's not like like with practical effects. Sometimes the practical effects just look better than digital effects, and that isn't the case here. It's just that there's something incredibly quaint and just endearing about, a guy in a rubber suit pushing over a building that's supposed to be part of Tokyo. I mean, it's just, and the very simple story of man against himself, with Godzilla standing in as the hero and the anti-hero. There's just something about that just massively appeals to me, that has been taken over by the enormous. I
gotta say that the monsters in this looked pretty good, though.
Yeah, they didn't look bad.
I was like, okay.
I just can't. I can't.
I thought Mothra would be stupid, but I actually kind of liked Mothra.
Well, they did something with Mothra that there was a. Yeah, you're right. There was kind of a beauty to it. I think Mothra's been.
And there was a thing that I liked with the. Luckily, we're not doing video.
Yeah, no, it's true.
I just gave it away.
Yeah, because then I had to put my pencil back on. No, I think that Mothra's mother may have been messing around with a butterfly. Just saying.
We're not ruining anything. It's in the trailer.
Yeah, it's in the trailer.
Totally.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. It's in the trailer. You know what? It's in there somewhere. Yeah. Yeah. So, by the way, I want you to look on your phone, and there was something. Oh,
yeah. That you wanted me to remind you of.
I wanted you to remind me of, and it's a story that is just came to mind that I haven't told in ages, and it was like a one-day fluke.
Story time.
Story time with Miq. Story time with Miq.
Story time with Miq.
Story time with Miq.
Story time with Miq. Story time with Miq. Story time with Miq.
What is it? What's it say?
Is it safe?
It's safe.
Something about a safe.
Okay.
It wasn't. Is it safe?
No. I got it. I did it on a weekend. I was filming. A bunch of stuff for AMC and something, in that period of time, recent 2000s, and I got called over by a friend who's a prop master to do this weird gag where we had to. It was a special effects thing, and what it was is. This is the gag. The gag is that a couple of burglars break into a house, this mansion, and they wrap. They go all the way through the house, and they have a chain that they wrap around a safe, like an enormous safe, like 6 feet tall, and basically like a slightly short refrigerator, right?
Yeah.
And I was going to tell the story of the rigging for that. So I get this job, and I go down, and I say, okay, well, we'll need to do this and this, and the idea is that they hook it to their car and they pull the safe out. Okay. Now, I never got along with these people. For some reason, they were really inexperienced, and they were shooting over the weekend. And it's funny. There's an old saying about when I finally showed up to set, and they were serving bargain basement soda. Yeah, there's this thing on a film that if they stop serving Coke and they start serving Shasta, you better find another job.
Wow.
Which is you wouldn't believe how often that's absolutely true.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh wow.
So anyway, we were way underneath Shasta. We were at there was nothing but like it was a color.
Yeah.
It was like brown if it was a cola, it was red if it was like a red something.
Right.
And then there was the barcode, right? That was it. So anyway, they want me to pull this shot by shot, pull this set,
right?
Pull this, pull it out of the wall, through the one room, down the hall, around, and then get stuck in the wall, and then pulled back out, right? Mm. So it was a choreography thing, and so we put the fake chain around it, and we used cables, and what I did was I put a dead drop in the corner of the studio. And a dead drop is, how do I explain it? A dead drop is where you go to the top of the studio and maybe you have a 40-foot drop. Right. And you put a huge amount of weight and you put it in, you put it around pulleys and then take the pulleys and put them down to the ground and then disperse that energy, just take that cable and take it and clip it so that you have you put pulleys wherever you need them so that you have the energy to pull the safe, and what you're doing is you're just dropping this bag again and again and again. And so we did the drop, and the thing is the day that we tested the drop, and here's the thing, these people, they were morons, and they were just children, just absolutely first time everybody's been anywhere, right? Right. And yet they thought that everything that they did, was better than anybody else's, which was very hard to understand. But so I did a test and I tried to pull the safe, 40 feet. And what I wanted to do was find the balance point.
Mm-hmm. That makes sense. So
the thing is we had to drop it by literally clipping it. We would hold it by hold it in place with a cable, with a very small cable, and then we'd snap that, and as we cut it would, right? And so the thing is everybody's standing around, watching us rig it, and the thing is we're kind of intentionally not really trying our most weight at once. We were trying to get up to what it would.
Yeah.
And I think that we got up. And the thing is I had the safe rebuilt. I mean, when they built the safe, I don't know what their logic was, but they built it and it weighed about 400 pounds. I was like, this is crazy. So I got it down to 150. Now, the thing is when you have 150, you have a 40-foot drop, we actually were doubling the cable so that we could actually move it 80 feet. Right?
Yeah.
And so in order to do that, you have to double the weight. So we were up to about 500 pounds before it neutralized.
Wow.
Right? So we get to 500 pounds, but every time I'm cutting the wire, and I'm trying to keep everybody out of the way, and I cut the wire, and they,
is the wire going like...
Yeah, right. And they're like, nothing happened. So finally, I got it neutralized on like the third time, and then we added 100 pounds to it. You see, now that's the weight that you use then to move everything. To every time you move the safe, you're at 100 pounds plus. See, and that way you can get over there and you can pull down with the weights, and it's like doing neutral. You can really crank on it, right? So we started to move the safe, and we started to do the shots, and we did the shots, and we did the shots, and it was working beautifully, right? And then one time we had this long shot that goes down the hall, and here's the setup. We have to go through the wall. We have to go to the wall, and it has to set in the wall. Okay. Not only that, it has to turn as it goes, right? So we're literally taking the cable, and right down at the bottom, we're wrapping it around it, and then clipping it on, and then putting it under pressure, and then letting it pull it in a half circle. Well, the first time we do it, and it has this big ring on the front of it, right? And the ring is steel.
Right, yeah.
And it's a light box weight frame. And for some reason, the thing is it has a bridle, because it has to pick up from a couple of points so that it doesn't tip over. Well, one of the bridle pieces broke. And it tips forward, and it just rockets through the set. And here's the great thing about it is,
oh, geez.
In order to use one point for all of the pulling, right, we literally had to pull it through another set. So that shot, we had to pull it all the way through the other set. And unfortunately, when it fell on the steel face of it, it just got back up and acted like a rocket, because the steel ring was the thing that, like there's no it's like Teflon. Right. It's like and it goes right through the side of the set, right through the side of the other set, in and out of the side of the other set, and you could literally look down and see like this safe sized hole that goes right through this set, right through that set, right through the next wall and set, and out.
And those sets, they're not really thick.
No. Well, yeah, but at the same time, let me tell you, it was really moving in order to do that. You get into those kind of inertia and mass things, because one way or the other, when you have that much inertia moving something like that, you have to remember that we balanced it at 500 pounds. Yeah, so pretty much if it was going like just like that, if it was going just like you would knock on a door, right? Mm-hmm. It would be knocking on a door with a log.
Wow.
So it just went boom, 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 boom. And there's utter quiet, right? Now, I had the guy that I had checking the rigging, right? Because every time he had to check and make sure that the weights, and so he was up in the rigging, right, of the stage. He's up on, they call them the perms. Right, he was up on the perms, and absolutely everybody froze. It goes through everything, boom, boom. Oh, and Frank was kind of a kidder and a biker, and pretty much a call it as he sees it kind of guy, and he thought that was the funniest thing he had ever seen in his life. And really, I have to say, I totally agreed with him. It was the funniest thing I'd ever seen. So he just cracked up. Just absolutely. All you could hear was him laughing. Because everybody's face is just like, oh my God, you went through the sets, right? And yeah, he was just cracking up. He thought it was the funniest thing in the world. But here's the thing. We had set it up so that we had a spare wall of this set, right? The other set I could care less, I mean, not my problem.
Right.
So the idea is that it was supposed to set in the wall. It was supposed to set halfway in the wall. And so that was a breakaway, right? Mm-hmm. And it was just because the cable broke. I mean, literally, that's all it was. Because I had stops planned everywhere. I mean, just I know it sounds complicated, and it's just rigging thing, right? Yeah, I just knew exactly how it was supposed to. It's just that the cable broke.
Yeah.
So the director just rags on me, and he goes, Spielberg does this stuff all the time. I was going, oh my God. I grabbed him by the collar and literally dragged him outside by his collar and sat him down. I said, you know what? Here's the thing. Spielberg would shoot this sequence over about a 2-week period.
Yes, he would.
and we're doing this all in a day.
One shot at a time. Spielberg would probably do.
Why don't you just, shut the fuck up? So anyway, he goes back, he's not happy, and he goes back in, and I said, okay, we're going to do this again. And when they set it all up, I said, the right front of the safe is going to be right here, and I put a quarter, maybe about 12 inches away from the wall, right on the corner, exactly where I knew the corner of that safe was going to be. And the quarter was right on that spot on the safe when we finally did the shot and set it into the wall. That's how nice it went in there.
Nice. Yeah.
So anyway, it was one of the rare occasions that I did not get paid.
Oh, really?
And I paid my crew off, out of my own pocket. They went broke the next day. They were supposed to film a bunch of stuff the next day. They didn't film anything. They literally the whole thing folded up.
Wow.
Yeah. It was
that's interesting.
Yeah, it was depressing. Anyway, I just that was a story out of the middle of nowhere. Just thought I would bring that up.
It's because we were talking about Marathon Man.
Because is that what it was?
I think it was, and I was like, "Is it safe?"
Oh, is it? It's never safe.
No,
that's the thing.
It's not safe. I don't know what that means.
So anyway, I still to this day I can remember Frank's voice.
Laughing.
There's something about that because there's been a couple times that I've had like effects go horribly wrong because it just happens, right? Yeah, they just horribly wrong, and to have somebody at the end of it just laughing their nuts off when it's everybody else has got a shocked, horrified look on their face just tickles the hell out of me. It's like, sometimes it's been me, but sometimes it's been other people. Thank God for Frank. That's all I have to say. So,
well, he had a good vantage point, probably.
He did. He got to see the whole thing.
Helps.
He literally got to see it go through both of because remember he was up, but he was 40 feet in the air, but he was right where the drop was, so the safe was pulling right straight towards him. So it must have been a great view. Yeah. Well, you get that sort of thing sometimes.
Yeah, you do.
So back to the film, and I have to say that I'd set you up on that, saying that no matter what film we see or stuff, I have to tell that story because
well, it goes along with Godzilla going through the buildings and
it does, doesn't it?
Yeah.
There goes Tokyo.
I don't think they had any rigging on him though.
Yeah, well,
digital rigging.
Yeah, not digital rigging. Yeah, that's a digital pulley you got there. Yeah, buddy. I'd be really surprised to find out maybe that there is a digital pulley out there. You don't know.
Did you like the last shot? I mean, it was very corny, but that was very retro.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, what can I say? I'm going
to bleep out the thing you just did.
Oh, okay.
Because I don't want to give it away.
Anyway, so
ratings. We kind of reviewed this a little bit, but not really. I would give it a. You notice how if we like something, we just don't really talk about it, or if we hate something, we don't really talk about it. So
that's true.
Yeah.
See, I'm going to give this a 3.1.
Really?
I mean, that's as far as I'm going.
I'm actually.
You're going to go a 6, a 7.
No. I think I'm a high 3.8.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So we're not that far off.
No.
Okay.
No, but well,
okay.
I obviously liked it more.
You know what?
Just
of course,
saying.
Yeah, you did. I'm
not sure about this Millie Bobby Brown girl though, but that's all I have to say.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
I know it just pissed off like everybody that's listening.
Yeah,
to us
absolutely, because she's America's whacked out sweetheart.
Yeah. Well, I tried to watch Stranger Things, and for some reason, it didn't do anything for me.
Like I say, I watched the first season of it, and by the end of it, I really didn't care one way or the other. Just didn't. It didn't ring my bell. In the second, and certainly the second season, I would have never thought of like watching anything in the second season, and I think they actually did a third, right?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I got halfway through the first episode, and I was like, Maybe it was a bad day. I don't know. I just didn't feel it.
I watched the whole thing and I didn't feel it.
And then, of course, this is coming from somebody who's never seen a Game of Thrones episode. So,
well, that makes two of us.
I don't feel like I'm missing anything.
Yeah,
maybe a little nudity.
But wait a minute. The thing is there's a huge backlash against us.
Yeah.
People who didn't watch Game of Thrones, and you didn't know that.
Yeah, I knew that.
It's very hip to be as unhip. It's very unhip to be so hip that you didn't see Game of Thrones.
Right.
So,
well, I've never really been one to be the big group. I don't even have an Apple phone, so I don't want to be cool like everybody else. That's why I'm doing a podcast.
What you got against my Apple phone?
With Miq Strawn.
Ouch! Get this out of my back.
There's nothing wrong with your phone.
Hey, did you
if it works for you, see, like I don't have anything against.
Don't go.
Well, I want to say I don't have anything against people that like Game of Thrones.
I don't either. I just
it's for them.
Yeah,
they enjoy it.
Totally. Yeah.
Go for it.
What was I going to point out? Vengeance dropped today, the first trailer.
Yes.
Yeah. If you haven't seen the Vengeance,
in fact, we might
Friday
even
the 13th Vengeance trailer.
We'll probably add it to one of our playlists on YouTube, and
we should
add a link to it on our podcast.
There you go. That's exactly what we're going to do, because that's the trailer is good.
And I'm sure we'll share it on Facebook too, probably.
I have a lot of people that are saying, it doesn't look like a fan film at all. I have to say,
I think I might have even said that.
Yeah, I think that you said it, but that's being very disingenuous.
No, it's awesome, I think.
Yeah.
It really looks awesome.
It really,
and I can't wait to see the movie.
Yeah. It's I had no intention of being involved in something that would have looked like a fan film ever.
Right.
That ever. I'm sorry, that just is not going to happen. I had some.
Well, it's because I've seen some bad fan films. I mean, I don't think I've seen a fan film that's blown me away. Is what I'm trying to say. I'm trying to be nice.
Oh well, this one
will probably blow me away. Yes.
Yeah, there's been a couple pretty amazing.
And I'm not being biased because I really do think it looked awesome. Like if I wasn't involved with it and I saw that, I'd be like, I can't wait to see this.
Oh yeah, absolutely. No, absolutely. I agree.
One thing
100%.
that really got me was Jason's performance was amazing.
Yeah,
with the head turn and the way he woke up in the water.
Yeah,
I was like,
he really has got it, doesn't he?
Yeah.
It's like I say, that I have to say that for years and years, working in town, we would. I mean, there were films that you would work on that you were all professionals, and in between the shooting, you absolutely comported yourselves as professionals. You talked like you knew what you were doing, and all the rest of this, and every shot as you looked at it was just like, oh my God, are we idiots or what? This looks terrible, right? and it just goes on and on and on and on and on. It's like polishing a turd. But it was weird. It was just this. It would be this like, we're professionals. We can't be doing this. But filming just is like that. Why sometimes?
Nightmare on Elm Street 5.
Something like that. Anyway, I was thinking. Yeah. Well. Anyway, I'm not going to go into it. But the thing is here's the thing: is you come.
I'm dying to know what movie you just thought of, but it's okay.
You come to what we were doing, and I mean, basically, it was like 3 or 4 people that had even done anything before, right?
Yeah.
And in between every shot, it was utter freaking chaos. It was Keystone Cops. I mean, It was like geese flying at you and just raining and everything coming in, and the thing is, and here's the thing is every time the camera came on, it's like lightning in a jar. It's like amazing. And I would look at the shots and I go, all right, we're shooting way over our heads here. Way over our heads. And it kept going for the entire shoot.
It was driven by passion. That's what it was, and just love for the film, or for the.
You know what? I don't.
For film in general.
I don't. For
even
film
people
in
who
general.
didn't like.
Well, you see,
there were people there that weren't even like huge Friday 13th fans, but
yeah, I mean,
they were
seriously, but
in this to win it, basically.
But the thing is, and like I say, this is the first all-volunteer group that, no pay anywhere down the line that I've ever been involved in. And,
well, we got food. That's payment, right?
Yeah. Look, I mean,
if you want to get technical.
Technical about it. But I'm just saying, the thing is, I'm used to being paid for it and being around people who were paid for it. It's what we did for a living every day. And for one thing, the thing that I had trouble understanding is, why would you go work on a film set for no money? I mean, and then it's by the end of the first day of filming, I was like, okay, I kind of get it. I mean, it is interesting, but I think that there was somebody in the film about The Room. The film The Room. Mm-hmm. What was the film that was
The
done?
Disaster Artist, right?
Disaster Artist.
Yeah. I finally just watched that.
There was an old woman that her character actually gets put through all this crap for one day of filming, right? And the guy comes up to her the next day. She's sitting there, just waiting, ready to. And
he's like, "Why are you here?
Why are you here?" And she goes, "Well, son, don't you know that the worst day filming is better than the best day not filming?" Yeah. And I was like, "Oh." And the funny thing is that began to ring true to me.
Yeah. I noticed some of the days that were like going completely wrong and south were actually some of the most interesting days. Because you had to kind of overcome the problems and figure out.
See and that's what filming is. Filming is just overcoming one problem after another.
Right.
It's no matter how much prep you do, no matter what.
What's funny is I think I heard you remind the director of that a couple times.
I probably did.
When he was having a breakdown or something.
Yeah.
Getting close to it at least.
Yeah, that's right. You have to support yourselves. Everybody has to support each other and stuff. It's really it's like no government ever. Right. It's like a dictatorship. It's like a dictatorship where you cry.
Yeah.
So okay, well, anyway,
go watch the trailer.
Yeah, go watch.
And then go watch Godzilla after that.
Yeah, watch the trailer for Vengeance, and then go watch it. So yeah. Okay.
Summer blockbuster. I think it was well enough.
It was enough. If you really, really, really want to see a good film, look at the original Godzilla or Shin Godzilla, which is the most recent Japanese version.
Nice.
That's pretty good. Okay.
Thanks for joining us on the Dream Warrior Review podcast. Don't forget to tell your friends about us, follow us, and, of course, like us. We can be found on Podbean, which is an amazing app, YouTube, Stitcher, Alexa on any pod, iTunes, Google Play. We're on Twitter as well, at DW Review, and, of course, Facebook. You can find us there. You can also email us at dreamwarriorreview@gmail.com.